Well, how doodly dandy there, chums design, Captain of the Steves. And today, chums, for you guys in the viewerverse, I'm back inside of No Man's Sky, and I want to do a little bit more speculation about this update that we may be getting in the next couple of days. And right now, I'm just looking for an abandoned system in space, and it'll become clear as to why in a moment. So, chums, I've found an abandoned system in space. Now, you know which ones are abandoned. It's still got a conflict level type. Well, it hasn't got a conflict level, I should say. It says data unavailable, but it's got the other elements. That's an abandoned system. They're going to have a space station, but the space station is abandoned. Okay, chums, something you're also going to notice about these abandoned space stations is they're the old type of space station. Now, the entrance to the space station is kind of the space station's front door, right? So this is its door here. Now, as you fly into the space station, it should say something strange on the front screen of my computer here. Welcome home. Well, when you enter in through someone's front door, what do you see on the floor? A welcome mat. Well, that's a welcome mat, so that's definitely the front door. I'm wondering whether the Hello Games is going to be doing something inside of this door emoji update to do with these abandoned stations. Because right now, there's not much going on for these abandoned stations. Anyway, I'm going to walk over, and it's going to take me a while to get there, and I'm going to show you around an abandoned station with some of the ideas that I feel Hello Games might capitalise on. Okay? Firstly, something that I need to capitalise on is by putting a frickin' teleporter here to get me all the way down there, because it's frickin' walking a month of Sundays away. Now, jumps inside of the abandoned version of No Man's Sky, like the, pretty much the abandoned mode, or whatever it is, mode. They added in these new consoles under here. They do keep updating these stations slightly with, like, atmospheric effects, like these particles that are now floating around, some of the misty type effects and all that sort of shenanigans, and also the sound effects. So they are tweaking these every now and again. It's not like they've just been forgotten about and haven't had any love for frickin' years. But inside these stations, you're going to find loads of this void-like goop everywhere. They did add in this multi-tool station as well. That's a fairly recent addition. Something that's also door-related is the Atlas Pass level 3s. At the moment, inside of these stations, you don't find much in here. But look, there's no slime in here. This is pristine and untouched. Sort of like if it's been saved by the Atlas. I'm wondering whether they might add things inside of these rooms that are worth seeing, worth having. Decent parts, maybe Corvette parts even or something, you know? I think the Atlas Pass level 3 needs a little bit more reward. I mean, what does it bloody do? Not much. Sometimes behind these doors you can get remembrance stations, but yeah, no remembrance station here. Remembrance lore is very much end-gamey type lore. Yeah, you got these either side of the space station. Now there's two. But yeah, look at all this slime, all this stuff. It's almost like void creep. But it's not like we've officially had any sort of rhyme or reason why this void creep is happening. Anyway, back to my ship, because I've got one other theory. So noticeably, at the back of this station, there is no station core. Even in the old types of station, there was like a core of sorts. And the core that the space station used to have was very much reminiscent of the life rafts that the autophages used to use. And it's the same as the life rafts that you find at Echo crashed camps, which is very odd. But there was some lore that mentioned a back door with those life rafts. Now, I did see a video by the Structure who picked up on that and reminded me of that actual screenshot. And then on the same day, Beeble also hit me up, Beeblebum, a good friend of mine. Met him at the meetup, a very good guy. Hit me up and said, Captain Steve, do you remember this? And he mentioned these life rafts as well. What life rafts am I on about? Let me see if I can show you quickly, chums. So yeah, these life rafts right here. You can see there that you could actually ask about the back door. It was like option 3, ask about the back door, and it mentions it there. And it's almost like they were calling out to the travellers being a scaffold. But you see this actual life raft. If you go to an Echo camp, there's one of these crashed there. And that was the old station core. The new station cores look a lot more centralised.
Captain Steve, oh Captain Steve, oh Captain.
Captain. Heck yeah. Why not hit that like and subscribe? Thank you very much. Okay, chums, I'm at an autophage camp, and here is that life raft I'm on about. Look, it's very much crashed and burn-dicated. It is completely smashed. Look at it. But that was the old station core. Like I say, the new station cores look very different. They look much more sentinelized. We'll go look at one in a moment. However, what I want to point out to you, chums, is right now, you can't see any autophage, right? There's no autophage here right now. But if I do a scan like that, they appear from out of nowhere, out of the ether. But they're not appearing out of the ether. They're appearing in a sub-universe. And that back door that they mention could be the entrance point to wherever they reside. Now, Korvax Prime became Void Prime. And we have the Void Mother that watches over these chaps. So I think that it is another reference to the Void is the realm where these guys come from. Or if not the Void, the realm of glass. I kind of see the Void as being where all the organic stuff comes from. The worm virus and all those biological entities. What you see on derelict freighters, I think comes from the Void. I think anything that is inorganic, like these guys, the autophage, remnants of old Korvax parts and whatnot all strung together, or even Sentinel technology, because these are also known as Sentinel pilots, or they were. I mean, over here, you've got like the remnants of a Sentinel pilot and a machine over here. And you find these next to Sentinel crash ships as well as Sentinel pilots. I kind of feel that the Sentinels have been using these guys to do their bidding. And I think the Sentinels had them locked up in station cores and elsewhere. And I think they've managed to hide themselves in the realm of glass. And I see the realm of glass as being a sort of firewall. And I think the firewall is slowly failing against the virus, which is lurking inside of the Void. That's what I reckon anyway, chums. Inside of this latest expedition, we got given these, which are called orbital uplinks. They look like they're full of pugnium, like Sentinel blood in a roundabout way. Sentinels can blink in and out of our existence from, say, the realm of glass or other, and appear wherever they wish. Well, this item lets us teleport directly from planet surface to the space station. Now, when you shoot a space station, Sentinels appear, as if by magic, don't they? You know, well, I could shoot that in a bit and show you them appearing. There's no Sentinel ships in here, is there? You know? But anyway, just to show you the Sentinel core, the Sentinel core no longer looks like one of those life rafts that we found crashed at that Echo camp. It looks very much sentinelized now. When you interact with this, we did get a message from the Void Mother at one stage to say that she sees us through the station cores. Now that the station cores have changed, that message has also changed. So yeah, we still get the offering up of the station override. When you use it, it says it's denied, and it says glass, 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 which I kind of think is a hint that the realm of glass is being fractured. And I think that's kind of a warning that that's from where the Sentinels are from. And that's just my deducing of stuff. But if I just go back into options and I just change the difficulty and put this back into normal for a moment, we will go and shoot the space station. As you can see, no Sentinel ships here right now, but as soon as I shoot the space station, they're going to appear. Are they using the same sort of technology that I just used with the orbital uplink to place myself here? Because I just managed to get my ship there automatically, didn't I? Lickety split. But it is interesting that the actual space station core, here we go, loads of Sentinel ships flying out. See that? It also, did it change colour light-wise there? Yeah, well, whatever. Well, I'm going to fly back in, interact a mondo with this again, and just pay more attention to the actual wordage that it gives. You see, I thought that the station core and the station override might just allow different ships to fly in flight paths, so you could get the rarer ships or the S-class ships flying in more regularly. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think these are doing a heck of a lot more, because we've got it mentions the Atlas Aeron surveillance uplink. I think these are very much here to safeguard and protect the Atlas, because the Aerons and the Sentinels were actually designed to protect the Atlas from whatever was going on inside of the universe, and also to protect the planets. But there we go, chums. That's what I reckon. I think the autophages are here to protect the Atlantid. I think the Sentinels are here to protect the Atlas. And that's just my sort of feeling on it. And that's my 2 cents. But anyway, I just want to thank The Structure. If you haven't seen The Structure's channel before, I'll put a link in the video description, so you can go hit that up. And also Beeble for reminding me and also supplying me with that screenshot. I wouldn't have been able to get that screenshot if it wasn't for Beeble. So thank you very much, Beeble. He spent a good hour of his time dredging through things to get that screenshot for me. So thank you very much, my friend. So I'd also put a link to Beeble's channel inside the video description. He's a fantastic base builder and now shipbuilder inside the No Man's Sky verse. Be sure to go check him out, people. And The Structure doesn't often make content for No Man's Sky, but when he does, it's always a treat. I really like The Structure's content. It's well structured. He puts a lot of work into his editing. It's not just throwaway content. It's always decent content. So please go and give The Structure a subscribe as well. I'm just going to make a save on my game, but I just wanted to float those 2 ideas out there with you guys inside the viewerverse. There's also a few things that I think that people are hoping for with this update that I really don't think the emoji relates to those things. And one of those things is the Doors connection, like the band, the music band, and you know, Come On Baby, Light My Fire, linked to Light No Fire. I don't think we're going to get any Light No Fire news. I really don't think that one can be tabled. I don't think that one's got any legs to it, people. Now, something that I know has got a few people out there worried is they think that this door is a doorway to say goodbye to the old and hello with the new. They've done the same thing with the whole waving stuff. However, what I would say to you, chums, is what about the deep dive that Sean Murray done for the whole Corvettes update, where he says that this opens up the door to multiple different ways of playing the game, and he alludes that there might be future aspirations to adapt maybe the game. And he also says there's still so much more to come for No Man's Sky. In Sean Murray's own words, I don't think this is the end of No Man's Sky. I don't think that is on the cards at all. I saw Professor Cynical's video earlier today, another content creator. I'll put a link inside the video description. He done a video, a shorts video and a long form video on is this the end for No Man's Sky, and he comes to the same sort of conclusion. No game ever lasts forever. There is going to be an end point at some point, but this is not it. We've just had such an ambitious update. We've had hints that there is more to come, and honestly think that you have to take Sean at his word on this one, that there is more to come.
Voyagers is version 6.0. It's a big milestone. Honestly, one of our biggest updates. What I love is that it opens up a whole new path for the future. We can't wait to see where it goes from here.
And this emoji, I feel, is proof in the pudding, people. But I think we're going to see regular updates for No Man's Sky even after Light No Fire comes out. Because Light No Fire has to prove that it's got a player base and that it's got a lot of drive behind it and players that are willing to play and retain players. So I kind of feel that No Man's Sky is going to still evolve alongside Light No Fire. It might slow down a bit, but I think the things that are in Light No Fire that are proved successful and working, we might see a lifted and shifted version of that come into No Man's Sky. But I don't think Hello Games wants to put everything over into No Man's Sky right now. You know, they've already lifted and shifted the Corvettes idea, because apparently you can make your own custom galleons. Again, that was in Sean's breakdown. Also, Sean has lifted and shifted the water mechanics from Light No Fire over to No Man's Sky. And I wouldn't be surprised if Light No Fire has got fishing in very much the same way that No Man's Sky has.
Every area of the game has to be reworked in some way. Having your multiplayer crew walking around, just calmly editing your ship as it travels at warp speeds towards a planet. It's actually pretty insane what's going on behind the scenes to make all of that work. And then on our other game, Light No Fire, you have these real oceans to navigate. You need boats and crews, and this tech is being developed for both games.
And maybe some of the creatures that we see deep down in the water's abyssal areas, like these giant squids, the hermit crabs, more earthbound looking fish, like the goldfish and that. I wouldn't be surprised to see those inside of Light No Fire. Light No Fire had a lot of earthbound creatures, and I still think that there's potential for Hello Games to shift over more, but like I said, they don't want to do that now, because it would show too much of Light No Fire. Where's the surprise? Where's the fun in that? But in time, people, we might see things come over to No Man's Sky. I mean, Hello Games could quite easily make some fantasy-style planets inside of No Man's Sky after Light No Fire comes out, couldn't they? Anyway, people, I also think maybe even multiple biomed planets could be lifted and shifted into No Man's Sky. Yeah, it might not have as many biomes as the planet of Light No Fire, but it could give us North and South Divide and maybe a Middle Tropics, maybe a 3-biomed planet could be on the cards. But anyway, people, that's pretty much everything I've got for you. Oh, and not to mention caves. Caves might get an overhaul thanks to Light No Fire. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I've got for you now. I don't think it's the end of No Man's Sky. I don't think it's a Doors reference. So that's 2 things I don't think it is. And I've also given you 2 things in this that I think it could be that relate to Doors already inside of the game. The entrance to the abandoned station says welcome home, and these life rafts of the autophage could be a massive hint that we might be getting the ARG Part 4 in this update, and to tie up the Void Mother stuff. That's where I was going with all of that life raft stuff. That's probably the most important thing I should have said, and I left it right till now, just before I was going to say goodbye, and goodbye again.